It looks like we are.
Live from New York.
It's Saturday Night Vibe.
Oh, cute. On the spot. New theme. Who dis?
All right, since we're now live, let's get after it. Guys, what is up? Oh.
You're still live. You just lost the screen. You just lost the screen.
Oh, help me, please. All right. Guys, what's up? I'm one of your hosts. I'm Kadimah.
I am Casey.
This is Freestyle Friday with Vibe Society.
Thank you for being with us today, guys.
So we're going to get right into it. We have...
What up, IG? We got people popping on the IG. Yeah.
What's happening?
Cool.
Who we got? Who we got?
Joan, Kendall.
Joan Jett.
I don't know what your name is. Hamid or... I don't know, but what's up? Do you know who that is?
Let's go. 5254. What's
52.
up?
What's up?
Kendall, what's up?
Thanks for being here.
What's up? What's up, girl?
Yeah, go ahead.
What up, girl? What up? Holla
Okay.
at your boy. Okay, so let's get in here.
Reel it in. It has been 30 seconds since we started.
5 things that happen when we stop exercising.
What a good thing to know, because it's great motivation to know what is actually occurring in your body whenever you stop. It's one thing to just be like, oh, I feel like crap. But to know some things that are going on, I think helps kind of motivate you to keep going, or maybe not quit.
Sure. And also for those, like, I don't know if you're this way. Do you need reasonings behind everything, or is it just like if somebody says this and they give you enough of understanding? So like in my case, when somebody asks me a question, or I ask someone a question, I only need that one question and I'm good. Like, I don't really need to know the rest of the details. You just give me that one question, I'm good to go. Like, if they said, like, you need to be consistent, I'll be like, okay, I just need to be consistent.
You get told and you go. And I think I'm the opposite. I like to know the why. I may not remember all the whys later on, but I like to know why do I got to do that? That's probably the defiance in me, or the learner. The learner sounds better than the defiance.
Okay.
So, so absolutely. So if we take time off, there's obviously going to be changes to our body that are going to happen. Some gains are just going to vanish. Okay, like overnight, you're going to go to sleep, you're going to wake up, and you're not as good anymore. Holy crap, that sucks.
That's a hard reality, guys.
It's real hard. But most things are reversible, and they don't take a lot of time to get back. So really, consistency is king, right? But let's talk about our first point today.
Blood pressure rises.
Blood pressure is something that a lot of people start gymming for. They go to the doctor, they got, they come back, they've got high blood pressure.
Doctor says I had the itis.
Yes. So your blood pressure can change within a day of you working out, which is really quite amazing. I mean, if you have high blood pressure and you work out and you check your blood pressure before you go work out, and then after you've completely recovered from the workout, check your blood pressure again, chances are that it's going to be lower. Okay. So that's a really, really awesome part. And not only that, but over time, it's going to permanently lower that blood pressure. So I don't even know how many people that we have served that have given us that feedback that they went to the doctor, they had these levels, and it's multiple levels, more than just blood pressure, cholesterol, and all hormonal. I mean, all kinds of things, thyroid. The list goes on and on. But the long-term effects of it happen as well. So basically, whenever we work out, our arteries temporarily get bigger. So like blood is flowing through and circulating. Honestly, like the more you work out, you can actually feel that. I think like you get the pump, right? I don't feel like I got the pump at first, but then after a while, you're like, oh man, like my veins are popping. You can. Not like you can feel your blood flowing, but you can tell that. Like things are pumped up, and it's because you have increased your circulation. So your arteries tend to stay larger for about 24 hours. So I mean, you're basically kind of keeping somewhat of a pump for an entire day, which is kind of incentivizing in a weird way. But diet and genetics also play a role in that. Some people are just, you're like, oh, every doctor's saying, does high blood pressure run in your family? Does, low blood, but yes, some of that is genetic, and some people are just prone to having higher blood pressure. However, regardless of if you're prone to having high blood pressure because of genetics or not, working out is a guaranteed way to maintain or, over time lower it, even if it's just slightly for those of you that are genetically apt to having it. Alternatively, if you stop working out, your arteries are going to become more narrow and, for an extended period of time, and that will continue to happen. So it basically takes 3 months of consistent exercise to maintain. Okay, so if you stop working out, then for an extended period of time, let's say more than 2 to 3 weeks,
Okay.
Then you're going to have to work out for another consistent 3 months before you have that. You're kind of at the maintenance, we'll say, for blood pressure.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
That's real good. I mean, I knew but the research for this is incredible, because you don't really think about this kind of blood pressure. How we know that exercise is supposed to improve this, but how fast does it improve this? Look, we literally gave you the quick fix, right? The 6-minute ab fix for your blood pressure. Right?
Yeah.
Work out.
Yeah.
Literally, do it right now.
It's like one of the fastest improvements that you can make.
Yeah.
It's really great. So number 2, your muscle starts resisting insulin.
Yeah. So it's interesting because if the more muscle you have, right, your body starts to utilize carbohydrates in a different way, right? It doesn't necessarily go to store it immediately, right? Many times it uses that to shuttle nutrients back into muscle in the form of glycogen, so sugar storages or muscle storage, fuel storage, so to speak, so that your muscles can do the same thing again. And the cool thing about your muscles is it's really, really stingy. It does not give it up for anything. So the moment that you shuttle in those nutrients or those carbohydrates, shuttles into the muscle, and after shuttling into the muscle, it will not give it up for anything, only in the ability that it's being used, right? In some sort of high intensity exercise situation or really, really prolonged, long endurance related exercise. And the rest of your body has to utilize pieces of it, for your brain. And then your liver, once it runs out, it starts to grab from other sources. So it's really cool the benefit of working out, getting more muscle, right? Besides fitting in your clothes better, etc., is that your body becomes more sensitive to insulin when it's necessary, when it's necessary to store. So you don't, so it doesn't become a place where every single time, because you have excess carbohydrates, that you. This sounds like new age yuppie garbage.
That sounds like somebody that doesn't want to change their life. Sure, there'll be a harsh comment back here in just a second.
Somewhere. It won't start getting stored as fat immediately, or converted into fat immediately. So
yeah. So changes in this, this is what increases the chances for type 2 diabetes.
Yep.
And inflammation. If inflammation is something that you deal with on the regular, then working out is going to benefit you for that.
We like to say here, movement is thy medicine. You're sore? Come back, get your butt moving again.
Yeah, you don't have to be. Yeah, that's a whole nother show. This working out when sore.
Amen, sister.
Yeah. So number 3, let's talk about your muscle shrinking. Y'all are going to get small. You're going to lose your muscle. It's going to happen fast. So the visible gains, that pump, the kind of where you're feeling a little bit hard, tight.
What are you talking about?
They diminish within a week. So if you've ever gone on a week-long vacation or maybe a 10-day or something where maybe it's not a vacation. Maybe it's just whatever, life happened and you stopped working out. Within a week, you're like, oh gosh, where did it go? Like, I worked so hard to build it up, and now, bam, it's gone. It just seems like it happens so fast. I can notice a huge difference just in the way my legs feel. That's probably the easiest one. That what?
I was having a flashback of you literally coming in here after Monday, like I can remember, like there was a
When I was
there was
sick?
a year. No.
Oh.
No, this is a couple years back. I had
Okay.
a flashback. You had been on a 10-week cycle, and I'd been programming it for 10 weeks
Yeah.
of like legs, and your legs got jacked.
Yes,
okay?
I remember.
And you were gone for like a week. Maybe it's vacation or something.
Yeah,
you
we
came
went
back,
to
you're like,
Missouri.
my legs are small.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, they're not. You know, but what you felt
felt
was
small.
that they were smaller, right? So turns out Mrs. Science over here, Mrs. Feely Feel, okay, was right about her own muscle size.
Yeah, so, but the thing is they may have appeared smaller and may have physically been smaller after that week, but it doesn't mean that they were necessarily weaker.
Yep.
That those strength gains that we have, we've talked about this before, they last longer. The long-term effects, like you will keep them even though you don't maybe look like you at your peak, those strength gains are still there.
Yep.
You know, you don't just lose them, you just lose the visibility of them, which really is horrid. Like,
I'm there for the show, bro. I'm not there for the
right.
go.
I mean,
Come
come
on.
on. So, muscle strength is not necessarily related to the size of the person. We can see this in so many examples, right? Like, I look at bodybuilders, or it's a different kind of strength. I mean, there's different kinds of strength. The best example of this is a gymnast, right? They're tiny, but they're freaking powerhouses of strength.
Yep.
They are crazy strong. And it's like, how's this tiny little girl just a beast? It just does not have to do with the size of the muscle, more so of the work that's been put over a consistent period of time.
Yeah, and so one of the things about weightlifting is, like, when you first start weightlifting, and this is kind of, is that it actually improves the communication between your brain and the muscle, so aka mind-muscle connection, but we also like to think of that as neurological. So when you first start lifting in a new program, one of the first gains that you see besides your cardiovascular and kind of lactic acid and kind of your soreness kind of goes away quick, is that most of your gains first, they're not like muscle size, because that takes a long time to develop, right? It is really neurological. Like, your body creates a better connection between your mind and your muscle to be able to recruit more fibers to lift the weight.
Yep.
So your strength gets stronger, but it's really that mind-muscle connection that is made stronger,
Yeah.
aka neurological.
Yeah.
So,
And it's amazing, like, how that all transfers over into just doing everything better outside of the gym, those connections, right? I don't know what's happening over
okay,
here.
let me just tell you real quick.
Okay.
Because he's, I have to say it. It's not the size that counts, it's how you use it. Lactic acid gains. You're making up stuff now. Maybe. All right. So
I'm trying so
I'm
hard.
gonna reel this back in. Okay. So if you take a week off, you really won't notice that much difference in muscular size. But if you take a month off, you will lose size. But your strength is going to be pretty much close to that 100% of wherever it left off. So if you're benching 225, you may have been able to come back after a month of not lifting at all and maybe do 215, right? Muscle size will be a lot lower. The stress that it takes to do that 215 will be an all-out like war to get that rep. It's not like it's going to be easy at 215. That's not what she said.
That's correct. She never said that.
Okay.
All right, number 4, your VO2 max drops. So the minimum amount of oxygen that you can get into your system, it matters because it helps you determine your cardio capacity and the performance output that you have.
So VO2 max is a really cool way of seeing like how much cardio you can do, right?
Yeah.
And there are numerous ways to do it. right, to find out what your VO2 max is. But typically you'll see this in athletes in usually high-level cardiovascular sports, aka track, long distance running, swimming. You'll see that. You won't necessarily see it in much of the power sports. You won't see it in weightlifting. They're not going to be looking for your VO2 max. Have you ever seen a weightlifter lift? Okay, this is how they do a set, and they sit on a chair for 3 to 5 minutes. They ain't got no kind of cardio, right? It's not about that. It's specifically about explosive movement. Gymnasts, on the other hand, because they do have to do so many routines, they do have a little bit more cardiovascular capacity, but I would say that it's still short.
Absolutely.
It's still very short burst. You'll see this in a little bit of football because it does require, depending on the position, does require a little bit of more of that.
Yeah.
Rugby, and I just thought of this because Dr. Jimbo, but rugby, you need to have that kind of VO2 max because they do lots of sprints. Soccer, same way, right? They need to have those kind of VO2 max. So this is not necessarily a number that we run all the time, but if this is a measurement of your cardio capacity.
Yeah, so basically there was some study done, and it was pretty interesting. The moral of the study, though, is basically that after 12 days, the VO2 average dropped 7%. Okay, so your capacity decreases in the first 12 days. It continues to decrease. They check on day 21, on day 56, it had decreased by 14%, so doubling that again by basically 3 months out. You have decreased your cardio capacity by half, or not, I'm sorry, that's not said correctly, but by 14%.
Okay.
And then 16% after 80 days or 84 days. So basically it declines over time and will continue to get worse. That's why, you used to be able to run up a flight of stairs and be fine. And then all of a sudden you go up a curb and you're like, whoa, why am I out of breath? Well, you haven't worked out in forever. So, the biggest thing to take into consideration here is that 12 days, you've already declined. So if you're breaking in your workouts for longer than 12 days or taking a 12-day vacation, like, you may think about trying to, for this reason, keeping that cardio capacity, leveled up, to not rest longer than that.
Yeah, Jimbo, I would say that, the 14% does equal 50% in the case, and what she means is the half-life of it. So basically what the 12 days represents is the half-life of your, or when you'll see the next decline in your VO2 max or the next decline in your cardiovascular fitness.
Correct.
So that's the clarification there.
Yes. Last point here is the grumpiness, y'all. The meanness, the anger, the irritability, the rage, whatever it is that you got going on. Depression, anxiety.
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion.
Upset stomach. Yeah. So a single workout almost like instantly
agree. Every time.
Makes you happier. The endorphins are pumping. You are basically just getting a great release of stress hormones. Just it is going to benefit you. It's actually it's still being studied, but I can personally attest that anyone with anxiety, you should work out. If you are having like a panicked, anxiety driven moment, if you work out, I swear it's like, oh, I can actually handle this right now. I'm not freaking out anymore. It immediately takes it away. So I will, even though that is not scientifically in there, I would say that from a personal experience, if you struggle with anxiety, when you are feeling anxious is the best time to work out. Yeah,
and they're actually kind of seeing this. You see this with a lot of natural homeopathic kind of doctors and practices. Depending on who the doctor is, they're utilizing more of these natural methods of stress management instead of looking for some supplementation, from a pill or prescription basis.
Sure.
And many times, science is behind 30 or 40 years of where practicing is until they can validate it, via double blind or whatever studies.
Absolutely.
To do that. So
yeah. So the moral of the story is stay active.
Or in Jimbo's case, if you stop, don't even start again. That's what he's saying.
No, probably not. That's probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
If you do stop, I would suggest not stopping for more than 7 days. It's basically a week is when you're going to start seeing, changes to these. And the mood thing will happen within a day or two. So that's probably the most vulnerable one. Just feeling better and being more calm and being in like a more homeostasis kind of place. But as far as, blood pressure, insulin, our
Muscular
CO2,
size,
our muscular size, all those things that you have a little bit more longevity with your rest or if you have an injury. But the common theme, guys, is just keep moving. But these are some good things to know and some good fuel to kind of fire you through working out. Why you shouldn't stop.
Yeah, and I think many of us stop before we get to the greatest payoff. Like you're right there before you get the really noticeable changes, benefits, etc. You come so far. You've done all this work. You've been consistent for for a certain amount of time, and all of a sudden, at some point, something stops or gets you in the way. And unfortunately, that's life. And there's going to be some kind of hard points that you're going to have to fight through and kind of get something in. Mm-hmm. Something is better than nothing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, guys, that is it. If this was able to impact you or help you out in some way, or maybe you have questions about VO2 or more about musculature and insulin, or of course our in-house nutritionist, Jacob, is able to kind of assist and help you with those questions. He does this all day, every day. He's literally has 2 degrees. He has a nutrition degree. He's also continuing to get certifications. He got a certification last year. He's actually doing another certification right now. Not just the scientific, but also the habitual. Mm-hmm. And so the cool thing is that you have somebody that is constantly studying the newest science available. So it's a great place to start and ask questions. He's available, has some spots. I believe he may have 1 or 2 open today, but if he doesn't, we're able to get you on his schedule and relatively quick. But you can DM us at the Vibe Gym. You can DM us on that's on Instagram or Facebook. You can private message us. You can send us a text message. You can send a carrier pigeon. We'll probably
love carrier pigeons.
We love that method the most, actually.
We'll keep it.
So, but this will also be uploaded on YouTube. You can comment on the YouTube video. Whatever method you want to contact us, we will answer questions, and we're available for that. If you like this content, please like and share it with someone that you know would benefit from it. Otherwise, we appreciate you joining us today. We will be back next week with another good topic to help you out and help you along this journey. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Kadimah.
And I'm Casey.
We'll see you next week. Bye, Instagram.
Later.
We love you too.
Holla. Well.